Are the versions of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode related in Dead by Daylight? This is a very fun and interesting question, and I want to get into it because if you didn't know, there are 4 different versions of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. Here are the timelines. We're going to go through them one by one. The first timeline involving Michael Myers and Laurie Strode involves Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, and Halloween 6. Halloween 3 takes place in a different universe entirely. In this first timeline, Michael Myers and Laurie Strode are in fact siblings. For the second timeline, they have Halloween, Halloween 2, and then they erased these 3 from the canon, and they just went with Halloween H2O 20 years later. They did this because they killed off Laurie Strode in between these 2 movies in a car accident, and Jamie Lee Curtis wanted to come back. In this timeline, Jamie Lee Curtis fakes her death after the events of Halloween 2 and goes into hiding, but Michael Myers finds her, as you can see here. Oh, and don't let this deceive you, they're still siblings in this timeline. The third timeline's off in its own little island. It's the reboot timeline, directed by Rob Zombie. In this timeline, Michael Myers is like 6'12" and he's buff as shit. And part of Michael's motivation for killing is he sees visions of his mother telling him to do it, so it's kind of like Jason from Friday the 13th. Michael and Laurie are siblings in this one, and after Laurie kills Michael, she starts seeing visions of their mother, and so it implies that she becomes the new shape. And the final timeline is like the second reboot, which is Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. This timeline is unique because it's the only one where Michael Myers and Laurie Strode are not related. He's just some evil guy, and she's just some girl who is obsessed with an encounter she had with him 40 years ago. I know a lot of people treat this one like 9/11 for horror fans, but I actually kind of like this timeline because it actually offers closure for Laurie Strode, and it's her journey of getting over the whole thing. But anyway, back to Dead by Daylight. The Halloween chapter came out in 2016, and the only timeline in which Laurie and Michael Myers are not siblings is the timeline that debuted in 2018, so I think it's pretty safe to say that Michael Myers and Laurie Strode are in fact brother and sister in Dead by Daylight.